Hi, Professor. My presentation is on perceptions and culture. What is the importance of our social perceptions? If we seek to understand, we can learn from one another. That is important. What is web-based social cognition? Web-based social cognition is how we receive the information and form impressions based on how we think. This varies between cultures. How do cultures relate to our perceptions of others and value and ourselves? We can sometimes perceive others by how our culture has trained us to see the world. Burrell, no date, states, we can be blinded by cultural glasses. If we don't take into consideration that we are different, we may miscommunicate and lessen the opportunity to learn from one another. Burrell says, we can benefit from diversity. This is true. What then, brothers? When you come together, each one has a hymn, a lesson, a revelation, a tongue, and an interpretation. Let all things be done for building up. 1 Corinthians 14:26. We can all learn from one another. Do perceptions vary across cultures? Cultures have different perceptions based on what they know. This pre-biased perception can influence how we perceive one another, receive another culture. If we are aware of our differences, it can broaden our minds, help us seek to understand. When we try to understand, we can compare to our understanding, developing an enhanced perception. We don't have to agree, but we can understand, learn, teach, and lean on faith. Sabat states, we must recognize both our potential for accuracy as well as our vulnerability to distortion in social cognition. I chose to compare Japanese culture and American culture. Some of our differences are Americans are comfortable eating and drinking on the go. Japanese find eating and drinking to be rude. Americans can sometimes show public affection. Japanese frown upon displays of public affection. When handling cash, Americans hand it directly to another person. In Japan, a money tray is used to limit person-to-person contact. I didn't know that. Until COVID-19, face masks were not commonly used amongst the typical American. In Japan, face masks are widely used and expected to be worn if you have a cold. That's interesting. Japanese live on average 4 years longer. Americans volunteer and donate more often. Japanese have a smaller homeless population. Japanese is a collective culture. It surprises me how the Japanese view homeless and have less homeless than America. Nobita from Japan 2019 states that the mindset is different. Many Japanese believe that if you are homeless, it's because you're lazy and you don't deserve to eat. Nobita did mention exceptions towards the disabled. I found that interesting because God teaches us differently. The research conducted changed my perception of Japanese culture. I initially viewed the Japanese as artistic, smart, and individualist. Although some of my original thinking can be correct, I now realize they depend on everyone doing their part. They take discipline, respect, and work ethic very seriously. Here's my reference page. And of course, thank you for watching and giving me the opportunity to learn.